Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. And that fella has just stolen my bike and we're not allowed to name him. Are we allowed to name you? Grant. He's Grant. He's grand. And he's stolen my CBF. He in exchange has given me this beautiful, what is it, 2005? CBR, yeah, Fireblade essentially. Well, not essentially, it is a Fireblade, and it's in this lovely Repsol livery. Now, I have sat on this in a car park before and it was quite scrunched up, so it should be interesting. This isn't a review or anything else. We're just going to go literally swap bikes for oil, and then at the end we'll tell each other what we think of each other's bikes and whatnot. Oh, also, yeah, that cooling fan comes on like constantly. How do I look, Grant? That's not very nice. Oh my god. This thing just I think I'm gonna want one of these afterwards. I probably shouldn't ride it, but anyway, what can you do? Oh, so nice. Okay, so yeah, most of this video is just gonna be me making those noises. I'm not sorry. So this bike, as I said, is owned by Grant. He's put on lovely fairings on it. It has 63,000 kilometers on it, and it still feels very tight, very nice. He likes it. I think he doesn't like it as much. You're blinking, by the way, Grant. He doesn't like it as much as he likes the GSX-R, but this thing is absolutely magnificent. In fairness, out on the road. As you can see, this thing is beautiful. I probably don't look very small on it, but it's so nice on the road. It's nimble as, and I mean, it's nimble as with me on it. And you know, this suspension obviously isn't set up for me, but it's very nice. I do like the clocks. White background clocks are always good. It sounds fantastic. It just sounds fantastic. We'll do a little pull up towards the lads there. Oh, I like it. So the problem with me riding this type of bike is, right, I know I don't fit on these, but every time I ride one I want one, and I just love sports bikes so much, and I shouldn't, because I don't fit, but I can't get away from my love of sports bikes. Because, you know, like the likes of the CBF, which Grant is on right now, it's just an easy bike to ride, but it's not one of these. This is just absolutely fantastic. Also, I did rebuild the brakes on these not so long ago, $4,000. So let's give them a little test. Oh yeah, they work. They work quite well. Anything you've noticed about the CBF, Grant? So what Grant said was it's very easy to ride, which I have said about that bike before. It is like the easiest, like entry level 1000 that you can pretty much have. I think it's so easy to ride. In a lot of ways it feels like a 600, but you know, also you have so much more torque. So yes, he also said it's very comfortable. He used different words, but we won't say that because I don't have to bleep them. And he just said many more of those words. But basically, it is very, very comfortable. And he said he can see himself riding one in his 60s, which is, I think that was a dig, which hurts a little bit, because I have the injuries of a 60-year-old. But I will say, you do feel a lot cooler. I know I look ridiculous on this thing, but I feel cool. Just do a little catch up here. That was fun. This bike is a good catch-up merchant. I have to say, I'm actually surprised at how much more comfortable I am on it this time than I was last time. Last time my hips were so tight I literally couldn't even sit on it. But here's the cool thing. Yoga actually works, folks. If you have an issue with flexibility and you know, other things like that, yoga does work. And oh, this is also a very pretty view. Look at this. You got cows, you got a mountain, and you got a really cool bridge. What more do you want from life? Let's do a little a little Grant catch up across the bridge. I enjoy this bike. I enjoy this bike a lot. A pity about the traffic, but unfortunately, folks, some days there's nothing you can do about the traffic. I'm going past you, Grant. There's nothing you can do about the traffic some days. Hopefully, when we move on a bit, we'll get past some of this, or we'll pull in and let some of it off, because it's bollocks. Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah, they're probably doing the full tourist experience of just staring at every leaf of blade of grass. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I don't know why they're going this slowly, but it's really annoying. Grant, I like your bike. I like your bike a lot. Oh, this bike is fun. So what Grant just said, and I actually tend to agree with him, since I don't think I've moved out of second gear yet, is the gearing on this is so long. You're kind of always in first and second on these type of roads, which is true. I mean, I don't think I've left second, and you don't really need to, which obviously, you know, brings a lot of other problems when you try to ride semi-normally in third and fourth. You're just breaking every speed limit in the known universe, probably, are you? Yeah, that's what I thought. I will say, I do like the brakes on it. I don't like the brake lever. The brake lever is definitely eaten into the travel of the brakes a bit. It's the shape of it means that I can't brake as much as I think I should. Or, you know, I don't have the range of the lever that I should have, just because of the shape of them. Oh, did I? Oh, there's more here, look. More bikes, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so again, what Grant said there is just he always feels like he's in between, you know, first and second. First for the power, second for when he's just cruising, which I completely get. Just riding the bike for a couple of minutes, I 100% get that. I wonder, would it be worth, you know, doing you know, the opposite of how you'd usually do your sprockets? Would it be worth going, you know, less teeth on the back and just try gain back a bit of your... Although no, that wouldn't work either, would it? You'd want to go bigger sprocket, but you'd give you more acceleration but shorter gears. But then you'd have crazy acceleration. Oh yes, this bike moves. Oh my god, there's so much power in this thing. If you like a bike that has a lot of progression, we should say, the ability to progress, this Fireblade is for you, because I mean, I wasn't even accelerating hard there, and this thing just zooms up to higher speeds, and that's like me taking it handy, because these roads are wet and shitty today, and there's also brand new tires on this bike. But it sounds, that induction noise when you pick up as well, that kind of snarl, oh, it sounds absolutely fantastic. And we're good. Oh, that snarl is the... Oh, and that is how I would describe it, is that there is a snarl on the induction. And here we go, the big CBF. So we're just going to follow them. And I have to say, like, this bike... and I am surprised. So a lot of earlier issues I had with it were definitely my flexibility related. Careful on this corner, Grant. Because now I'm actually feeling quite comfortable, and like, I'm still, don't get me wrong, if you're tall, I'm still cramped up. But not as much as I thought I was. Like, my hips are okay, and I've done a lot of work on my hips recently, so that could be it. But like, I'm all right. So if you really want a Fireblade, and you know you are 6'7" and weigh quite a lot, you could do it. Watch out up here. There's a lump in the middle of the road somewhere. Or there used to be. Yeah, here you go. Watch this. Watch around this corner as well. There's like a root or something. I know these roads. There it is. Yep, I told you. But yeah, like, I mean, I actually wouldn't be put off, because I mean, we've been on the road now, what, 15 minutes probably, Grant? 20 minutes? I mean, a 20-minute stint on one of these, it's not, I know, look, it's not something I'm ever going to tour on, but a 20-minute stint is a 20-minute stint. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's not like, I can definitely do at least 30 minutes, probably 40. So 30-40 minutes on one of these, you know, you're after making a good distance, you can stop, have a chat, do whatever, and you know, you can just hop back on this and definitely make use of it, because it's kind of what you want from a bike, really. And if you really want a Fireblade, you can have one, and this bike is gorgeous. I've liked the look of it since Grant first got it. It's fast, isn't it? It's hard. You have to get used to that touring seating position, because you're not. That's what Grant just said. He whacked his manly bits, his manly nuggets off my tank, because he's not used to, say, engine brake and whatever else, and obviously not being hunched like this, because there's not really a way for me to slide forward on this bike. You are where you are. The bike's going to hold you in the seat. But obviously he's not used to that on what happens on that bike. Yeah, the brakes are good. Oh my god, this bike is quick, man. Oh yeah, look, I'm not going to say too much more. Like I said, this isn't a review or anything, but if you are tall and you want one of these Fireblades, this thing is an absolute blast. It's very, very, very fast, and it's very capable on the road. You know what I mean? It's not something that that carries parked. It's okay. It's not something that I would be turned off of anymore, to be honest. I'm really, really glad I rode it. I'm really glad that, you know, I worked on my flexibility a bit to be able to ride it, because it's fine. You know what I mean? It's not a comfortable bike. They're not made to be. But actually, when you get up and you're in position, you know, I can move around on the bike quite well. The suspension is well capable of holding me in place. And you know, when I compare it to obviously the GSX-R, which I've done a lot of time on the track on, and I know how difficult it is for me to move around on, and it does put pressure on, you know, certain parts of my legs. This is exactly the same, but I don't even want to say it's better. It's not better. It's probably exactly the same. It does feel like it, yes. So what Grant just said there is, when I'm turning, does it feel like it's on a rail? And in fairness, it feels like it's just hooked into the ground, and it's just not going to move. And that is exactly the way to put it, Grant. Well, very nicely put, sir. Now, the only thing is, if you are looking at a Fireblade and you are my size, the more modern Fireblades are actually smaller than this, as far as I know. So, you know, this is very much just for this year of Fireblade. Oh, that in a corner is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I like it a lot. Grant, I'm just going to do a brake test, so be aware. Right, so we're going to go now. Oh yeah, that bike stops. How did that look? Nice and stable? It felt very stable. Now, I wasn't going like crazy hard, but realistically that's as hard as you're ever going to need to brake on the road. So the brakes are good. I'll go again. Like, that's from fast to not fast, very, very quickly. Brakes are well capable of handling it, I have to say. Very nice, very nice. Basically, I think this bike is it's just one of those ones that you give a thumbs up to. You know what I mean? I think it's just one that you go, yep, that is a nice bike, passes inspection, I would have one. Huh? Yeah. Grant says now that the brakes work, because before he gave them to my apparently capable hands. And not that I was worried you'd die or anything. They weren't apparently so great. This is a cool old bridge. Nice old metal structure. This used to be, I don't know, does it still open, but it used to actually be like a drawbridge style thing, or a lift bridge. I don't know how you want to put it. So I will say, yes, my hips, now that I'm off it, my hips feel exactly like they feel when I get off the GSX-R, which is uncomfortable. But just look at it, it's absolutely stunning. I have to say, Grant, those fairings have made some difference. They're beautiful. What do you think of it?
It's shite.
That's not very nice.
It's a Honda.
It is a Honda.
It does everything you need it to do. It cannot not do anything. Turns well, brakes well. It's light and nimble. Doesn't feel overly heavy in the corners. It's actually probably more nimble than that in corners.
It is, isn't it? It does dive in nicely. Now that's made to go around corners really fast though.
Yeah, just that one real corner though, with the long sweepy, it's not made to go back and forth. That is going back and forth.
Yeah.
The brakes are fantastic on it. Well, I only used to put the front way.
Do you actually think the brakes are fantastic?
I like the brakes, yeah.
I think if you ever had ridden my old Phaser, the brakes on the Phaser were better than those.
Oh, the Phaser with the bad clutch.
Yeah. And now, all joking aside, would you actually only have one in your 60s, or say, like, for instance, you had a bad hip like me, would you consider one of them sooner?
I mean, you've the hips of a 60-year-old, so yeah.
If you didn't hear him, he said you have the hips of a 6-year-old. So there you go, peoples. That was the little bike swap video of Grant today. I like that even more now. It's absolutely beautiful. It goes well. It stops fantastic. It's just a very nice bike, isn't it? It's a Honda. It's a Honda. It's a Fireblade. Everyone kind of knows how nice they are. And like I said, like we did, that was probably what, 20-25 minutes. So 20-25 minutes, sat on that. I could do that with ease, take a 10-minute break and just jump back on and do it again. So yeah, very nice. So if you've watched, thank you very much for watching. I pissed myself with joy. He asked why I see sweat. I did. I let some go. Anyway, if you watched, thank you very much for watching. A special thank you to Grant for swapping bikes with me, and obviously taking a go on Big Bertha with her booty. I very much enjoyed that. If you'd like to hear anything more about this bike, then sorry, I'm probably not going to tell you, because I'm not going to ride it again anytime soon, I would imagine. So I do like it though. But yeah, if you have any questions for me on the bike, leave them down in the comments. Look, this is a personally owned bike. It's used every day, nearly every day, mostly every day. So I mean, you can expect that. Like, that's nearly 70,000 kilometers. It's used and it still runs. It feels new. It feels quite, like, not new, but it feels very new. The only thing that I would change that would make it feel so much better is those. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like them, but that's personal preference as well. That's it. Thank you again for watching. Special thank you as always to all of my patrons. Yes, you're all legends, to be honest. I don't have anything special to say today other than I appreciate y'all. And yes, until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. Crew. What do you think of Grant's new fairings? These only went on recently. They're very, 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 very pretty. I am very impressed. And we only just had them all stripped off earlier because we put brand new throttle cables on before we went for this spin. So let us know what you think of the new fairings in the comments. And say hello to Grant, who you may or may not know. I'm not allowed to say any more than that, but his name is Grant. Okay, bye. Grant, wave, bye.